So did you go directly from West Side? Like, did you have to audition for Snow White, or like, oh, they saw you in West Side Story, they're like, you're Snow White?
West Side Story was kind of nowhere near coming out. We were about like 6 months away from release, and no footage had been seen. And I actually got a really glowing recommendation from Steven Spielberg to Mark Webb, who directed Snow White, saying that. And I also got a text from Steven kind of alluding to the fact that I had gotten the part before I had found out. Because
Really?
I wished him a happy Father's Day, as one does. And and he texted me a bunch of apple emojis as a response.
And so that was
I
like,
didn't know yet.
Right. Oh, very interesting. Very
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah.
Very Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, he was giving Taylor Swift Easter eggs about my casting. But
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know, like, was it a secret project when you auditioned for it?
With all of these Disney things, it's like the Marvel, Star Wars,
Right.
Disney live actions. You have no idea what you're reading. It'll say like untitled Disney live action film, and the sides will have different names. It'll say like Amber and Jeff. And so I was reading for Amber, an untitled Disney live action. And it wasn't until I had that first read with Mark Webb on Zoom that he had let it slip that I was actually conversing with Dopey.
Oh, well, that's a clue.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in the back of my head, I went, okay.
Mark can't be trusted, it sounds like, with a secret, because if he's
Been
saying the word dopey,
compromised.
there's kind of, it's not like there's a whole bunch of dopies it could have been.
No, not
No.
many. Not many.
Is it difficult to do live action with the animation?
It's the hardest
It's
thing I've
hard,
ever
right?
done.
Yeah.
It's amazingly rewarding when you see it and when you complete it to say that this is a thing that we did, but you basically do 3 different versions of every scene. You do one with humans in the space, so you're having an emotional connection with somebody, and then you do it with puppets, in our case, for Dopey and Grumpy and these
Like hand
iconic
puppets,
characters.
or?
They were full, like, I say Julie Taymor-esque because if you've seen like The Lion King on Broadway, anything that Julie Taymor's done, it's that kind of puppetry where they're like attached to the feet of the puppeteer and then moved around by with their hands for all of those iconic characters. And then you do what's called a clean pass, to do like a clean plate, where it's essentially me doing Whistle While You Work to nobody, dancing and singing. And the thing you have to do with props, because they need to turn the prop into a CG prop and put it into the CG character's hand, you just drop it on the floor. And so that cut of the movie, I hope, comes out someday, where
yeah.
it's just me dropping things.
You in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
And is it you? Are you whistling? Are you a good whistler?
Bad at whistling.
Oh, you are.
I heard that you are as well.
I'm terrible at whistling. And I wish I was good at whistling.
I got better on this film. I do teach them how to whistle in the film.
Right,
but,
yeah.
And it's like, it's a very sweet, it's a scene I auditioned with Dopey.
Oh,
but
really?
it is one of those where I say, not to make a candle go out, just to make it flicker. And that's how I teach. And then it was one of those things where you go like, not bad.
Pretty good, yeah.
Thank you.
The kind of whistling I want to do is like the whistling that like a mom does on the street when you're like late for dinner.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah,
you know,
to get a taxi.
And what
in
I do
Manhattan.
sometimes is scream in a high pitch to try and make it sound like
Yeah.
a whistle, but it never really does. Yeah.
Right. That one, yeah.
Like that kind of thing, yeah.
My dad can do that, and he's always tried to teach me I can't do it.
He's tried to teach you.
tried to teach
Will
me.
he teach me?
Absolutely.